Hi, welcome to the COVID-19 Lake Norman and North Mecklenburg briefing call. Today is Monday, April the 6th. My name is John Bradford. I'm a small business owner in North Mecklenburg. I'm also a former member of the North Carolina House of Representatives, and I'm your briefing call moderator. The purpose of this call is to bring together healthcare experts, government officials, and business leaders to provide regular COVID-19 briefings to update, educate, and support the North Mecklenburg region during the outbreak. We are on day 21 of the 30 days to slow the spread. Again, there's a picture of an iceberg right here on your screen, just reminding you, we keep hearing this is going to be a tough week, maybe a tough few weeks. So please pay attention to the cdc.gov website, the coronavirus.gov website, and if you feel sick or if you're older, just please stay home. President Trump announced social distancing is required through April 30th. This graphic on your screen shows how just by not spreading it to someone else, it truly can make a huge impact on the number of infected individuals throughout the country. The CDC has a recommendation regarding the use of cloth face coverings, especially in areas of significant community-based transmission. These are not the N95 surgical masks because those are critical supplies that must be reserved for the healthcare workers and other medical first responders. These are more cloth face coverings, and if you go to the cdc.gov website, there is a video by our Surgeon General, Dr. Jerome Adams, that you can play, and he shows you how you can make your own face covering. There is a link that you see here on your screen, but if you just go to cdc.gov, it's pretty easy to navigate to find it. It's just a little video clip that shows right there. Now, on our call from Friday, Mayor Woody Washam of Cornelius talked about he knew someone in I think it was the Greensboro area, so I did some research on that, and you can order cloth face coverings from a company called Indira Mills in North Carolina. They usually make other types of textiles and clothing, but they are now making a 3-ply cotton face covering with elastic for ears, or machine washable and reusable. They're $1.50 a mask, and you can order them in a 12 dozen minimum. They come in sleeves of 12, and all you have to do is pay $1.50, so that's $18 a sleeve, and then you pay your shipping. I know they had some large orders. I did place an order myself for my family and employees and people that I know, and all you do is pay for them with a credit card. You need to call the phone number, 1-800-334-8605. It's right here on your screen, and I hit option 1 for customer service, and someone very friendly answered the phone and helped me. So here's a place right here in North Carolina if you're looking for cloth face coverings, if you'd like to order some. Just a reminder, Apple and CDC does have a screening app that you can use for yourself or any loved ones. It's just a screening tool, and it's intended to just help give you some direction before you go to a hospital. And in fact, they tell you not to go to a hospital, call your doctor first before you do that. But you can use this app to at least point you in the right direction. Just in terms of the last update, yesterday at 4 p.m., there's over 300,000 cases in the U.S., and we've reported over 7,600 deaths. Again, this is old data because it was yesterday at 4 p.m., and again, they're saying it's going to be a really tough week, so it'll be, I'm sure, some tough numbers we'll be seeing, but we'll continue to report those. There is a new COVID View report that you can sign up for at the CDC. It's a weekly summary of key indicators. So if you're really into data or into numbers, you can get this PDF report, but it's called the COVID View. The one thing that I put on the screen here is that there's a hospitalization rate of 4.6 persons per 100,000, with the highest rates being in 65 years old and older. So just, this is a new report, and if you want it, go to CDC and you can look for the COVID View report. Just the Payroll Protection Program opened up Friday. I know a lot of business owners who are trying to get their applications in with their SBA lenders. I've had a few questions at the lkntogether@gmail.com account from independent contractors. The Payroll Protection Program will be opening up on April the 10th for independent contractors and self-employed individuals. And you can apply through any SBA lender. So, call your bank. If your bank's not an SBA lender, call another bank. Just make sure that those banks are working with non-customers. I do know some banks are only working with customers, but there are other banks that are working with everyone. So just make those phone calls, and if you're an independent contractor or self-employed, April 10th will apply to you. The FEMA rumor control website, there were really no new rumors, but that site, I continue to encourage you all to please check it. Just remember, do not be scammed. Anyone offering you money or asking for personal information, they are trying to do harm to you. So please do not be victim to any of those scams out there. In North Carolina, we're still under a state of emergency. You can see here's the COVID call center number. You can also text 211 for assistance. In North Carolina, as of 11 a.m. this morning, we've had 33 deaths. That's up from Friday where we had 19 deaths. So on this screen in front of you, you can see I circled in red. Friday's numbers was 19, and today's numbers at 11 a.m. was 33. The number of counties impacted has gone up to 89. That was up from 86 on Friday. So we have 100 counties in North Carolina. You can see right here on the map, there's not very much white left. Everything is some shade of blue. So this heat map continues to show the change. In terms of statistics by age, from Friday till today, by age, the 65 age group gained 1 percentage point. And the number of deaths for 65 and up gained 3 percentage points. So just know that if you're older, your chances are higher for death. So please be very careful. And then just by the number of people by age, the age group 25 to 49, 41% of that age group are still getting the disease, but the death rate is higher on the 65 and up. So the only thing I can say here is everyone needs to be smart. And if you're older or if you're taking care of an older one or your parents, please encourage them to be smart. There's been no new executive orders. We're still under a stay-at-home order here in North Carolina. We still need healthcare volunteers. So if you are a healthcare person, clinical support, you can go to this website and register right here on your screen. We need you, and we appreciate all of our frontline workers. If you want to understand more from our Department of Commerce for unemployment, you can go to this website here, and this would be for employers as well as individuals who have reduced hours or who have been separated from work because of the pandemic. Today, I did hear an update from our hospice care in this area, and I thought this was important to report. We still have a lot of people who are, obviously reaching the end of their life for a variety of reasons, cancer and a lot of other things. The update here is that, and this came from, by the way, Nicole Wolf, who's the regional director of hospital care of Lake Norman, and basically they're continuing to provide end-of-life care for inpatient homes facilities in Huntersville and Charlotte. They have modified to be as virtual where appropriate. Private homes, nurses are using telehealth technology to try to do a majority of their visits, but they still are able to make emergency visits as needed. Nurses making in-person visits are allowed as well. They're effective today. No visitors are allowed unless the patient is imminently dying. So that's somber news here, but this is from Levine and Dixon's Hospice House. As of today, for Levine, I should say, and Dixon Hospice House, no visitors are allowed unless the patient is imminently dying or the final days to the week of life. The largest concern for this space is the lack of personal protective equipment available. So just know that the hospice folks are still there for us, but they are having to make some changes. And we might have Nicole Wolf on as a guest panelist just to join us one call here in the next few days. Mecklenburg County, I know Commissioner Cotham will give us probably an update as well, but the last report that I saw was 665 cases and 6 deaths. On Friday, the county manager, the public health director, and the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Deputy Chief Jeff Estes provided some updates. There's some new amendments out there for real estate and residential brokerage and leasing for the stay-at-home order. So for anyone in the real estate business, I hope you'll pay attention to those updates. County Manager Diorio really expressed, social distancing works. And you see right here, just with 30% social distancing, so not even a third, we can really flatten the curve. And you see a graphic that she shared at her press conference on Friday. So I just want to share that with all of you. In Mecklenburg County, the hospitalization rates by age, 60 plus is right at 50%. So once again, on the higher age group, they're the ones most susceptible to hospitalization. However, that age bracket of 20 to 39 still is 38% infected, and 40 to 59 is 36% infected. So you can be infected at any age. Davidson does now, according to the county, have a case or two. So it looks like every zip code in Mecklenburg County does have a reported case of COVID. You can see the heat map here. And this is from 5 days ago. So just know that it is completely throughout the county in some form or fashion. Dr. Greg Murphy could not be with us today. He's a congressman. He texted me right before the call. We always appreciate him being here. On Wednesdays, we have Thomas Stith with the U.S. Small Business Administration that joins us. So he'll be on our call Wednesday. But again, here's the website, sba.gov/disaster. Dr. Jack Faircloth is covering for furloughed doctors today. So he will be with us again on Wednesday. But Dr. Jack Faircloth is one of our regular panelists. But I know we have Mecklenburg County Commissioner Pat Cotham, who's a mainstay for us. Commissioner Cotham, we'd love to hear an update from you in the county.
Thank you so much, John, for your report and for this. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you again for inviting me and for providing this information. Just an update on Mecklenburg County. I just want to raise it from what you said. Right now, as of today, we have 773 cases in Mecklenburg County. So that is an increase of 68 over the number that you gave previously, which I think was 665. So that's just in one day.
Wow.
I think today I want to talk a little bit more about the response the emotional response that I'm getting from people, and it seems to affect all different areas of this. I'm getting a lot of frustration from people who cannot get on the websites to apply for like unemployment. And if I have one more person tell me that they got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then they still weren't able to get on, I don't know what I'll do. But I'm really feeling a panic from a lot of individuals. Also, you know, I talked in the past week and a half about the two big industries, the car dealers and the realtors. We did have some updates on them, making things a little easier for them to function. So it's not perfect, but what I'm hearing about now, and it'll probably be heavily focused this week, are really small businesses that are under 50 people. And they are not eligible for a lot of the programs the federal government is putting out. And they're really strapped, and they're getting more more panicked. I've heard from the four minority chambers, which is the African American Chamber, the Hispanic, the LGBT, and the Asian Chamber. And altogether, those small businesses are really have the biggest employment in our community, and they are really looking for relief because they're just not eligible for anything. And I know at our board meeting that we're going to have tomorrow, the manager is going to give us some things that they have worked up to help these businesses that go all the way down to, just a handful of employees, but all under 50. But the difference with the program is these are going to be loans. And that is, I can just already know what I'm going to hear. They can't afford a loan. They need some, it's like the bigger companies and even the bigger, smaller companies that may have over 50, they're eligible for forgivable loans. But these folks, they're going to just end up being closed, and then we're going to need more support from county services. I hope we can come up with something for them that is some kind of a forgivable loan that is, because a lot of them don't need that much money to keep functioning. So anyway, but I anticipate that it's going to be a lot of concern this week. I have gotten a lot of emails from people that are complaining about their neighbors, what they see on the street, when they go to the stores, and I've listened to a lot of them, and I just think the main reason they're doing it is people are really getting frustrated, and they're emotional, and they're scared, and then they want to blame somebody. So they're blaming each other. I have been very disappointed when I see exchanges on social media among neighbors about, what one person is doing, and they're walking their dog and talking to another neighbor, and I think it's just a sign of the times that people are really getting frustrated. But it does worry me because it's getting to be a blame game and shaming people, and that is never a good thing. And we don't know what's going on in somebody else's home, and you don't know what they're dealing with. And some people, have a paycheck coming in, and like I've heard from the really small business people, the people in government, they have paychecks coming in. We don't. We're worried about our employees. And with families, it's the same thing. Not everybody has the financial support, and they could really be struggling or worried about their aged parents or grandparents or whatever. So I wish that I'm kind of disappointed that the faith community is not able to have services. We would probably get some good words of wisdom from the faith community about, being kind to each other as opposed to shaming each other. I'm getting also confusion about evictions. I mean, there was a ruling that came out about evictions and turning off, also about turning off electricity and utilities. But there are a lot of lower income people that are in hotels, and because they get to pay weekly, and they can't afford to pay by the month, and they can't afford a deposit. And most of these people are working, but they have to pay very high amounts to live in usually a very substandard place. And I have been in many of those hotels, and they're awful. And I was, a few years ago, I got one closed on Wilkinson Boulevard. So there seems to be some wiggle room there where they can get evicted. So I'm very concerned about that. And I'll probably be working a lot on that this week. And I'm looking at my notes. I think that's really the whole report I have. And again, it's more about emotional stress and family stress and business stress. And, we really need to try to, be sensitive to other people who are struggling and not, shame them. That was my word for the day. Let's not shame people. Well, thank you very much.
You bet.
Thank you,
Commissioner. Thank you. You bet. Thank you, Commissioner Cotham. We appreciate your words of wisdom there. Let's see, Cornelius. I know the Cornelius Mayor, Woody Washam, had an event this morning. Let's see if he's able to join. Woody, are you there by chance?
Yes, I am, John. I'm right here. Thanks.
Very good. Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining.
Yes, sir. Happy to. And thanks again for hosting. We did, as you noted, have a virtual coffee chat this morning. Those coffee chats are something that John Bradford started in our town about, I don't know how many years ago, with about 8 people, and now we're up to something over 100. But we had in and around 80 to 100 folks out there this morning virtually. It was a great update from the national level to the state level, the county level, and our local town level. So got lots of questions. We asked folks to email those in, and we asked them to text them, either one or the other. Did have a few little technical glitches, but all in all, it ended up being a pretty good presentation. A lot of questions about unemployment applications and what to do for self-employed, some of the things that Pat just talked about, and how to apply for a small business loan. I'm in the middle of that today. I'm now at my bank office, and we are inundated here. So just trying to take care of our customers certainly first. It's been a pretty heavy lift, but we'll continue to reinforce all the resources that are available locally to get all this done. I've reached out a couple of times, and our representatives have been pretty responsive on that. Encouraged our board and our citizens to really start wearing masks. I gave you a phone number you could call. The last meeting, I missed it by a digit, as Mr. Bradford pointed out. I'll be glad to supply that same number to John if he wants to put it out later. But it is booming. There's lots of orders coming in from everywhere, but North Mecklenburg in particular. But they still have the mask, non-surgical masks available at Endura Mills up in Yadkinville. So more to come on that. We'll put that number out, hopefully, that folks can order them if they choose to. But the big thing that I think we need to do right now is just take responsibility for our own actions. I see some abuses of it. I'm concerned about still with the lake to some degree, still on some beaches out there. I just worry about that sort of thing. And, we've just got to be cognizant of our own actions and quit trying to find ways to get around the stay-at-home order and just comply with it. And let's get this behind us. Let's move on and get it behind us completely. We continue to have wonderful acts of kindness, and one of our local citizens has organized what he calls Feeding the Front Lines effort to support Atrium and Novant ERs and all the hospitals in North Mecklenburg. I had a local doctor, Dr. Cameron Bearder with Keystone Chiropractic, reach out to me this morning after our call to want to provide lunch in a couple of days to all of our public safety at our police and our fire. And I think I noted on the last call, our former Commissioner Kurt Noss had given the town 300 masks, and he's given us 200 additional ones. So he's got a source that he's certainly helping to benefit the needs of our town and our area. So all, that's awfully good news in the cover of a lot of concerns. The number keeps growing. You want to look at the bright side. It's not much too bright right now, other than you just know that we're going to get through this one day. I do, following up on Pat again, commend our houses of worship. They can't meet, but they're putting some wonderful online encouraging services out there. This is Holy Week. As a church organist, in addition to my other jobs, it's weird to sit at home during Holy Week, but that's what we need to do right now. So go out there and find a service that you are interested in and tune in for some hope and inspiration. I think you'll be glad you did. And that's all I have, John.
Thank you, Mayor. And I do have on the screen while you were talking here, I do have the Andera Mills information, the cost, as well as the 1-800 number. And this number that I have here is the correct number because that's the one that I called. So I've got that here to share with everyone. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now moving to Huntersville Mayor John Aneralla. John, love to hear what's going on in Huntersville, sir.
Well, I'm going to start off with one of the sites that I go to periodically, which is sharmecresponds.org, and has a lot of good information on there on how to volunteer and what you can and can't do, and other sources of information. And then following up with Commissioner Cotham, there's a Greater Charlotte Hope Line, 980-771-4673. And basically, if your situation at home is getting more and more uncomfortable due to the basically stay-at-home policy, any type of abuse you may be experiencing or anticipating, please call that number, 980-771-4673. Kind of getting back to what else is going on here in Huntersville, parks are still open, but you have more restrictions: no basketball, no tennis, just basically walk around the park and enjoy the beautiful weather we're having. In addition, talked to Senator Tillis's office this morning, and if you're having trouble or questions about the SBA loans or any of the other type of programs that have been put in place, please contact their office. I'm sure you can contact Senator Burr's office or Congresswoman Alma Adams' office as well. So don't try to do this on your own if you're having difficulty with that. In addition, the Recycle Center is around Mecklenburg County going to be closed for the holiday weekend, Friday through Sunday. I would anticipate also that the county is going to do something to be more in line with the time frame the governor pointed out to April 30th or April 29th. So I'd anticipate that this week. And then we are having our first virtual town hall tonight. If you have any public comments you would like to have written into the record, or if you'd like to speak in our virtual meeting, you need to get your contact information to townhall@huntersville.org by 2 o'clock today. And then just a couple of other things. The census is out, and I want to tease Mayor of Washam. Huntersville has 52.7% of their residents responding, and Cornelius only 50%. So maybe we could have a little contest there and try to get everybody to turn their census in. And then some acts of kindness. We are also getting tremendous support for our first responders from various restaurants. Moose Pharmacy donated hand sanitizers to our fire and police. And it's just an amazing thing when everybody's business is definitely down. There's so many of these businesses that are still trying to reach out and help, and we really appreciate that. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor, for those updates. Those were very helpful. We appreciate you for joining as well every call. So let's see. I think we have Town Commissioner Matthew Fort from the town of Davidson. He had accepted. Commissioner Fort, are you on by chance?
I am, and John, if you would also get the Davidson info as well, I'll reach out. Let's make it a three-way comparison there. I'm hoping to have a high amount of turnout for our census submissions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know your percentage, Commissioner Ford, or not yet?
Where do you go get it at?
I don't know. I'll make sure. He may have. I think the mayor hopped off the phone, so we'll make sure we get it. We'll make it a three-way competition between the three towns.
That's right.
I'm back. Davidson's at 50.2, Cornelius 50.4, Huntersville 52.7.
Okay. So,
all right.
We got a tight race.
All right. I'll get the word out.
So
I apologize for not being on. We've had a lot of fire drills at work, so my apologies for not being on. Let me talk very quickly about what we have done, so it's a little bit bigger of an update. We've established a business email group for all the local businesses to receive critical information for business owners to help each other and share ideas. We have a listing of all of our open businesses on our website, and businesses that are closed. We continue to provide social media posts for business activity. If you've noticed our parking, we have it all coned off to allow for curbside pickup for stores and restaurants. We've connected families in need with restaurants that have leftover food. We are providing assistance with filing unemployment claims for businesses that had to let employees go, especially the restaurants and salons and barbershop. We are providing assistance with filing SBA loans. We are contacting property owners on behalf of the renters to see if rent payments could be extended or reduced. We have provided information on extending utility payments for businesses, and we've added auxiliary delivery locations for businesses for pickup and delivery. And we are also providing information on free services offered by the HURT Hub. So those are all the things that we're doing as a town. In addition to that, we actually have a Davidson Community Foundation that's in the process of being set up. This was initially targeted to be set up for affordable housing and other types of activity. That's going to pivot a little bit and look to try and go help those residents in Davidson that are impacted, that are in need. It's still in the early onset phase right now, but eventually in the near future, we'll start to accept donations to that and help our local residents. We have our first virtual town hall tomorrow night, which is going to be primarily focused on COVID-19 and what we are all doing about it. And that is everything I have as far as an update right now.
Thank you. You're a pro at this. I hope you'll be able to join us in the future. We do these calls every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, I think it's the first one Davidson's been on, so we thank you for your time and updates. We know you guys are busy, and thank you. That was really a great update, very concise and much appreciated. I know your residents and North Mech residents will appreciate it as well. So thank you, Commissioner Fort. And I do have Davidson's website up as you're talking, so everyone knows where to go there as well. So now we're going to move to Rhonda Lennon, cannot participate today. She's our CMS District 1 board member. She said she has no update since Friday. So now we're going to move to the Chief Executive Officer of the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, and that's Mr. Bill Russell. Bill, what's going on at the Chamber, sir?
Well, I'm hoping to work my way up to being a pro like Matt. That's good. Well, the Lake Norman Chamber is continuing to use this time to inform our businesses and residents in regards to small business and corporate relief related to COVID-19. There are links to seminars conducted by the Chamber of Commerce and other organizations that you can get information directly from the Small Business Administration and our healthcare agencies on our website. A webinar will take place tomorrow at noon. It's a special business work. It will be Zoomed and we'll record it and then push it out via our email, social media, and host it on the website. It'll be on the CARE Act presented by Dale Gilmore. Wednesday, I'm going to lead a discussion of 14 area nonprofits on Zoom, which will again be recorded. We'll distribute it through our email and social media and also host on the website. It's going to highlight what those agencies are doing right here at the lake and what we can do to assist those agencies. And again, 14 of them ranging from Ada Jenkins and Angels of Sparrows right down to the United Way. On Thursday, we're going to host a 4-part mastermind program on leading through crisis. That's going to be a John Maxwell virtual presentation facilitated by local business coach Dan Houston. We got a lot of programs on tap this week, and again next week. We continue to push information out for small business assistance. And as everybody has mentioned, we are going to get through this. The one thing that we can do is also utilize this time, John, to look at preparing and spending some time working to make sure when we do get that opportunity to hit the ground running, we're prepared. So again, use this time wisely and spend some personal time with the family. So again, thank you for what you're doing, and thank everybody out there for supporting our area businesses.
That was very good, Bill. That sounded like a pro to me. Nice job. Appreciate that update and in the words of wisdom, no doubt. And we always have an open invitation to the Huntersville Regional Chamber. Here's their website on the screen. And if they ever want to join, most certainly I have extended the invitation, and they're welcome to join. And here's their website for you all. Our next briefing is Wednesday, April the 8th. Just know we are stronger together. Keep the emails coming in to lkntogether@gmail.com. We've had several. I've responded to all of them. So please send emails. We are listening to what you have to say and trying to pass that information along. And I hope you will take care of yourself, take care of each other, and remember, we are stronger together. This concludes today's briefing call. Thank you for listening.